upcoming era. They just released Modern Romance Dreaming Lonely. Ini udah salah satu yang ditunggu-tunggu banget because when Elephant Kind releases something, there's a lot of buzz and there's a lot of response. Makanya kita pengen nanya-nanya banyak nih ya. Dan untuk mewakilin Elephant Kind hari ini, sebelumnya ada pokoknya Elephant Kind setelah cukup lama nggak terdengar merilis karya terbaru meskipun masing-masing kayaknya solo pun kayaknya sibuk banget ya. Akhirnya mereka kembali lagi with that song Modern Romance Dreaming or Lonely dan sekaligus menjadi single pembuka untuk album ketiga Elephant Kind yang katanya bakal berjudul Super Blue. You've seen the music video, if you've seen the theme of how their Instagram look right now, you're going to be so happy that I'm talking to this one person, my very close friend, Bamastro. Hi.
How you doing, Kai?
So good to see you, man. I haven't seen you in
Good to see you
ages.
too.
This pandemic is
I
really
know.
killing the
Probably
friendships.
like a year and a half or something. Yeah, it's crazy.
Well, I'm certainly happy that we're here on a different platform. Finally, I get to talk to you. Karena kalau di platform kita yang bareng, gue biasanya nggak dapet kesempatan buat ngobrol-ngobrol sama Eka. Cuman
Yeah.
hangoutnya doang.
Yeah, I don't think so.
But how are you? How are you feeling now that you're about to start a new chapter for Elephant Kind? Dan single pertamanya udah dirilis. Jadi yang lo rasain apa sih sekarang?
I feel like this, I don't know, like I feel like in a way that it's a new chapter, but also it feels to me like it's more like a new book. I feel like I'm dropping a whole, like I just finish an entire novel or something like that, like a fictional story yang kita udah buat selama 7 tahun. And can I speak Bahasa, or like is this like a bilingual? Like is this?
It's a bilingual. You can speak whatever you want, whatever you're comfortable with, man.
I don't see anybody like commenting or anything like that, so like, it's strange. But yeah. So like it's been 7 years, and I feel like this is the first time we had a chance to actually make something that feels like a group effort than just like a one-man band. And so like this is a whole new book, Yeah.
What do you feel like is different? Because now you seem to think that this is more of a group effort. Emang sebelumnya, do you guys like chip in individually, like one person, one song, or with the main idea? Atau what's different? Why do you think that this feels more like a group effort than ever before? Kangen ya sama band selama pandemi ya?
Yes, but I wrote all the songs. Yeah, semua lagu, every song di Elephant Kind gue yang tulis gitu. And rightfully so. I mean, it was my school project. Jadi gue bawa ke orang-orang ini yang akhirnya menjadi sahabat gue, dan it felt like it was only yesterday yang kita baru ketemu, dan sekarang udah jadi rasanya kayak we're super close, that we're too comfortable with each other. Sekarang baru sebenarnya kejadian lebih ke I don't have any more songs. Like I don't have any more songs in my computer. Like I'm in my studio right now, and I didn't have anything to show anybody. And then I was like, I'm gonna need some help. And so yeah, I got help.
Oh, so that's awesome. I mean, this time you feel like it's more of a group effort. Dan dinamikanya gimana tuh? Pasti beda dong dari sebelum-sebelumnya.
Oh, beda banget sih. Kayak gue sempat mikir mungkin kayak kita sempat quarantine bareng-bareng gitu di satu tempat sekitar 2 jam dari Jakarta. I don't remember where that is actually. Gue cuma follow Waze aja. Habis itu pas nyampe, I thought we're just gonna be like messing around, just like boy stuff. We're gonna be, because I brought my PS5 and it was like brand new. It was like January, and then I brought my PS5. I thought we were just gonna be like hanging out and everything like that. And no, we actually wrote like a whole album together within 5 days, and I'm like, that's crazy. Like, we came up with like new songs, and then like we finished them, and it was like super grown up stuff. It wasn't boy stuff anymore. It's like super grown up. Like, let's make something while we have the time together. I think everyone understands their responsibility of just being in that room, and no one's like messing around. Yeah.
Wow, that sounds really grown up for you guys.
Yeah.
No, I mean the treatment is definitely different gitu karena I feel like it isn't. I mean, this is to me a surprise that you've actually never written songs together before. Karena and on stage, it really feels like you guys have such great musical chemistry that I'm surprised to hear that you've never done it, not really done it before. Kayak not just the arrangements or production, tapi bener-bener kayak nulis lagu bareng gitu. Because you guys do have great chemistry. If the crowd, I mean, if you don't, the crowd won't feel it as much as they do gitu kan. So,
Exactly.
so on a scale of 1 to 10, how excited are you about this new era? And what can you tell us about this very first single, Modern Romance Dreaming? Or Lonely? Which one is it?
Dude, I'm like excited and scared at the same time because like
Yeah.
it's our third album. A lot of people are counting on us. It's like, are you gonna make a better like album? And we're like,
Mhm.
hell yeah. I mean, like our last album are really good, but like we can't
Yes.
always. Yeah, yeah. But I mean, the response was like it was insane, like out of this world. But like I feel like we're ready to take on something like a little bit bigger than that. And I don't know. I think we're more solid as a band. 7 years being together, we learned a thing or two together, you know. But yeah, that's like the more diplomatic answer, I guess. But I'm really scared about dropping an album in in this climate, when everyone's sort of like not sure, like should I drop, like if I write a happy
Mhm.
song, would that be like a little bit selfish for me to like be like, oh yeah, my life is great while everyone's suffering? Or like if I write a sad song, would that be too entertaining for those people who are
Mhm.
actually going through really terrible stuff? But whatever's gonna happen. And Lonely sort of like came about with that. Um, there's this book called Modern Romance Dreaming. I don't know if you read that
Yeah.
by Aziz Ansari. Um, dia tuh menurut gue,
Yes, I read it.
you probably
He's the
know,
funniest guy alive.
funniest guy alive. He's like my number one favorite comedian right now.
Yeah.
Gue tuh suka banget sama Kanye West, dan semua yang dengerin
Yeah.
album kan, yang tahu gue pasti tahu banget gue suka banget Kanye West. And I feel like Aziz is gonna be my next Kanye. You know, um,
Yeah.
I'm gonna move on from Kanye just because I feel like I always need someone to guide me.
Yeah.
That's my thing, and I think Aziz is going to kind of dictate my art for the next few years, while he's like on top of his game. Tapi juga di
Mhm.
buku Modern Romance ini gue lebih ngerasa kayak I can't really resonate with that because I'm no longer single. Like I'm taken, and I'm really happy with my relationship. But like
Yeah.
I can only imagine how it feels like being single during
A
2020.
time
Like
like
how
now.
crazy is it? Yeah, you're just like swiping up and left and right, and you don't even get to meet this person when you're like you really want to hook up with this person so badly, right? And then you're like
Yeah, yeah,
everything is
yeah.
great, but like you just can't get into bed with this person. Like I'm like, how do you guys do it? So like I just thought about it. I keep reading the book and how that
Yeah.
is no longer relevant sama tahun 2020, nggak relevan sama sekali gitu. And I sort of like
Yeah.
I don't want to get stuck in that sort of conundrum where semuanya itu based on pandemic gitu. Tapi I want to
Yeah.
be able to. There's more life to than this whole thing, like that's
Yeah.
been going on. And menurut gue, it's my way of saying, look, there will be amazing stories coming out of this, and I can't wait to hear those
Yep.
stories. Um, and loneliness is something that I've always loved writing about because as a kid, I've always
Mhm.
been. I mean, a lot of my friends call me like a loner for fun. It's not like I'm an actual loner, but like I actually like being alone more than being with like anyone really. And
You're
so
just comfortable with yourself. There's nothing wrong with that.
there's nothing wrong with that. I
Yeah.
guess I am a loner in a
I mean,
way.
I mean, no, I think it's just first and foremost, I don't think that you should have any doubts because look at the artists into 2020 who postponed their album releases and they totally
Yeah,
lost the momentum to Dua Lipa because Dua Lipa absolutely killed it when it comes to momentum in the pandemic. And
yeah,
kaya
that's true.
the likes of Alicia Keys and Lady Gaga, they could have done better if they, if they just stuck, because I really feel like this is what
Yeah,
people need right now, right? It's
mhm,
not necessarily what the song is about, but there are songs to entertain them and for them to relate and remind them of life, that there's, you right, more to the pandemic than just
yeah,
pandemic. Your
yeah,
feelings are still valid, and I just feel like
yeah,
that's great. Awesome. And by the
mhm,
way, the Aziz Ansari thing is awesome. Modern
yeah,
Romance, I read in 2019.
right.
and it and I felt like that is funny as hell. And I feel like for you, from Kanye to Aziz is totally different perspective. Karena kayak kalau menurut gue, intellectually speaking, Aziz is on a completely different level. So I'm
Yeah,
excited if that's your guiding angel right now,
yeah,
where that inspiration is gonna take you.
yeah. I mean, speaking of which, I feel like they're both are at the same level, just different sort of like
Mm-hmm.
angle of
Yeah.
seeing things. And I think
Mm,
um Aziz is some more like laid back sort of like, because I feel like I used to be this whole like, I don't know if I've kind of add personality into myself in a way where I just feel like I need that sort of like edginess, and I just want to be Kanye where I can say whatever I want. But you know, I just realized I'm not that type of person. So if I have to say something that, my mind is telling me to say, I feel like I have to be a little
mm,
bit more creative, more like an Aziz
mm,
type of stuff, in a way where, I think I could really engage people in the conversation more than um Kanye does. Kanye doesn't engage in it, like doesn't make people, want to engage in the conversation because it's all about him. It's
him.
not a two-way thing, and I feel like that's a great thing to do as an artist. I feel like each and every thing that I do, I made it seem like is a one-way conversation. I feel like as an artist, I don't
Mm-hmm.
want to be communicating in a way. It's a two-way thing.
Mm,
Like when it's a two-way thing, I always felt like um I'm no longer telling my side of the story, but
you have to
you
consider
know,
other
is
people's
a
side of the story.
yeah, it feels like a transaction, and it feels like,
Mm,
I just want to be heard completely. And other times when I'm talking to a person, I like to listen, but not when I'm
mm,
writing something, not when I'm
mm,
singing, not when I'm doing something that I feel strongly about, which is my art. And
mm.
I like to make it one way.
That's nice. Well, I have a question. So back to the Super Blue era, right? I mean, the first Bang introduction was everything was blue, and
Yeah.
I know how important visuals are for you guys in really communicating your stories and these upcoming
Mhm.
stories, gitu kan. So, just out of curiosity, you guys decided to really go on the next level. Low key, you guys worked together with Museum Macan, yeah?
Yeah.
And made two music videos for your first single. So why
Yeah.
did that happen? Why do you think that was necessary? Or was it part of the collaboration?
There's only like like we started with one music video, and then
Mm,
I think Museum Machan was I think the team was kind enough to like sort of let us put our little twist to it, because it's the output was going to be a music video, right? Jadi
mm-hmm,
pas kita bikin sama Museum Machan, kita kayak okay, we agree on that. Tapi ternyata pas di tengah-tengah, we felt like a few of the elements could have been not better, but like more like an elephant kind theme
mm-hmm,
music video, in which, we don't, we have our own ways of doing things, and music
mm-hmm.
Museum Majan, they have their own ways of doing things, and we kind of have to meet in the middle, and that's the
Yep.
reason why we made a band's cut. It's like a Zack Snyder, like
Ah,
a director's cut
nice. It's a
type of
thing
cut.
now, right?
It is.
Zack
I think
Snyder
I
made it
think bands
happen.
should have a band's cut. Yeah.
That is awesome though.
Yeah,
Yeah, everybody has a cut now, not just,
yeah,
the commercialized cut. That is awesome. But
exactly.
um one other thing that struck me was super blue is probably a very relatable term in terms of emotional for anybody listening during the
Yeah.
last 1 or 2 years almost. Yeah. Um if you could give us a little bit of a teaser, what do you think we can look forward to Elephant Kind bringing to the table in Super Blue?
Um, there is there's a lot of things. There's the sound. Yeah, I
Whoa.
can't really say that.
You just gave
I'm
me a
not
teaser.
allowed to play that. But, mad at me. But like I'm just like every time I'm in the studio, I just want to show like what I'm working on at the moment. But like, it's a musician thing. As a business side of things, it's just it doesn't work. You gotta
Mm,
keep it low key until it comes out. And to be honest with you, the album is not even finished. Like it's like 70%, I say. But we've been like hearing some really good songs from this album that we think could kind of top our two previous ones. But there will be more songs than the last album. I think Super Blue is, you know, is the like our third album, and as a fan of Kanye, his third album was one of his third actual album would be My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, I think, or like
mhm.
808 Heartbreak or whatever. But those are the a more evolved as an artist type of album. And I think that's the sort of thing that we're aiming for. And I don't know. I don't know if the old Elephant Kinds, um, the old our old fans are gonna love it, but this is definitely something that I mean, the idea of being an Elephant Kind, like what's the craziest thing is that like I like to dance and do all that, all those stuffs, and
Yeah.
I like to move like a woman. Like I don't know, I have that obsession with like the way, like when
The
I
way you
see
move.
of like a woman, the way I move. Yeah. No, but when I see like a woman moves, like even when it comes to golf or like tennis or like whatever sport, they they look so much more flexible than the guys, and it's so animated. It's so animated in a way like I want to look like that. So I've always
I got
tried.
you. In a way that it comes natural, not
Yeah,
so made up or awkward. That's what you mean?
exactly. Yeah, stuff
Yes,
like that.
I
Yeah.
get it. Yeah.
So yeah, so that's the reason. Like I think I really enjoy moving like like a real woman. But even then, I posted it on Instagram and everything like that. We get comments like, we get backlash for doing all those stuffs. Um, I don't know if I'm allowed to say it here, but like I'm gonna say it anyways. Instagram, right? So like, there's just like a few comments like, "Ini ben homo ya," stuff like that. Are you guys fucking gay? It's like, well, like out of all the things that we've done and all the hard work that we put in, like everybody works hard, but like we put in
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
much our time and effort to like do this. That's the thing that they talk about. And but I feel most successful as an artist when I see comments like that, and it means there are audiences that we need to reach out to, and we
Hmm.
need to sort of like break into their, take a little piece of what they think and then sort of change that into a new way, I guess. I don't know, a new way of thinking, and or just make that a manifesto, or like, you know I don't want to dictate how they think,
Yeah.
but I want to be able to show them new angles and perspective in the most profound way possible. And I feel very successful the minute I saw that comment.
Yeah, because that's when you know the people are paying attention, right? Because if people
Exactly.
are only licking your ass and saying, "Oh, you guys are great," you don't really know where you really stand. And I feel like that's great
Yeah.
perspective. You're right, and it's a good way to see it. But speaking of perspective, speaking of success, kita punya fan questions ya, karena kan di
All right.
Instastory tadi udah dibuka tuh threadnya, and everybody wants to know. I mean, if you have never watched Elephant Kind live before, you are in for a treat because whenever they move, the crowd will move. Whenever they stop, the crowd will scream because they don't want Elephant Kind to stop.
You
So
know what? Actually, I forgot that we've had fans. Like I almost forgot.
because you haven't performed in live,
I haven't
live.
performed. I haven't been out and about. And there's this one time I was at the mall and then I just took out my mask to like have like a coffee or something. Like no, just like a drink. I don't drink coffee.
Yeah.
And then this bunch of kids were singing Better Days, and I'm like, what? All right.
Yeah.
They're just like walking by and singing Better Days. I'm like, all right, I'm in a band.
You're in a
Yeah,
band.
anyways, yeah.
Yeah, you're in a band. By the way, you're fans of questions. So, this is funny. If Elephant Kind were a real elephant, what kind of elephant would Elephant Kind be? Dumbo, cute, and something, or any other elephants in mind?
Mammoth?
What kind of cat?
Is that,
Oh,
wait,
a mammoth.
yeah.
Extinct and ancient. Is that it?
Yeah. And we just rose back to live like zombies. But no,
I
would
like
say
zombies.
a Dumbo. I would say I would say like Dumbo. An elephant that can actually fly. It's almost like impossible, but we made it possible.
You guys made it possible. Okay, second question. Speaking of success, pencapaian sebagai seorang musisi itu apa? Is it angka or viewers?
I think I just said that. I think it's challenging people's opinion and the way they think. I always believe about 30% of the things that I believe in, even about religion and stuff like that. I leave 30% to like take in all the information that I can find and leave that neutral. So I don't go to the extreme. Never go 100%. I never go 100%. And I think the success is to be able to push that 30% in people's minds. And I think we've done that quite a lot, actually.
You know what? That's a great way to put it. It's a really good way to put it. Because if you think about whatever it is you believe in, obviously you always have to leave that 30% of an open mind to stay neutral so you can, listen in and see what other people think in perspective. You're right. That's a really good way to put it. I'll quote you on that one. We have one more.
Yeah.
I haven't asked this question because this is a fan question. So what does super blue mean and why call super blue your next era?
We need to figure that out for our next interviews too, man.
Is this the first one? Or have people been asking you this question?
I mean, like, we've got that question too. Like, we have like the we're on an interview question type of thing. But
I always wondered, is it super sad? Because when I thought of super blue, and I was like, oh, is it super sad? I mean, have they been super sad during the pandemic?
Blue, like the color blue, but like it's more like blue as a feeling, I think. And I just want to make sure that people can actually understand what we're saying visually, not just through music and lyrics. And I think blue is the only color that can actually represent everything that I say in the lyrics. And is it sad?
For all the songs or just one?
For pretty much, well, some of the songs are quite cynical. I mean, if you listen to some of the lyrics that I wrote for Elephant Kind, some of them are quite cynical, even when it comes to love and stuff like that. But I I think it's the blue. Like, I don't know if I've ever been more blue than this. It feels like I don't live in an actual world that I know of. And I feel like,
Mm.
you know, actually, I just thought of it. When
Ah,
I was writing this, when I was writing this album, I just keep looking at the sky and it's super blue.
yeah. And
Yeah,
release this and start the era during a super moon as well. So that was kind of cool.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Anyway, I just wanted to ask you, last but not least, what do you guys are doing a lot of virtual shows. You guys have virtual shows planned and everything to make sure that you guys are still connecting to your fans, and I love that you do. Last but not least though, what do you feel in terms of being able to play? What are your hopes, for the next year that you perhaps want to be able to do again as a band, and while waiting for the release of Super Blue? And last but not least, do you have a target on when do you think you're going to release Super Blue?
um, I'll work about like 15% every month, and I got
Mm.
30% left to go. And so I'll be 100% in a couple of months. And I feel like in 3 months from now, everyone can hear the album. But we want to make sure that they get this whole awesome build up, you know? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But for shows and everything like that, I want to put everyone else first. Like, I mean, there's more to life than music. I mean, music is an important part of life, but like, I think what's more important, I think it's, everyone's safety and everyone's health. And I just don't want to
Mm-hmm.
be like forcing it and pushing it and, make it all about me. Like, yeah, well, yeah, I mean, I've been posting about I want to go back on stage. And I think some musicians have done it, but I don't know where I stand right now. I feel like uh I'm more on the let's just, you know, let's just watch this whole thing, like reevaluate this whole thing again, and make sure this isn't going to happen again. And about music is always going to be there, and everyone's going to crave. We're going to have cravings, and but I hope it'll come back, like live shows would come back around like late this year. But yeah, I
You
don't
never
know.
know.
I don't know.
You never know. But from you to your fans or whoever tuning in right now though, if you could give a tip, yeah, if you could give a tip on
Yeah.
apart from music, where to focus, to make the best out of the time now, what would seorang bamastro usually do to optimize the time that you have now? Read or new hobby, or did you develop something?
I like to act normal. Like, I understand a lot of people use the word new normal,
Mm-hmm.
especially at the start of the pandemic,
Yeah.
and rightfully so. It is like things have changed completely, but I don't use it because it's no longer normal if you put the word new,
Yeah.
and I felt like I just wanted to make sure that everything that I do, kalau ada psychiatrist yang bilang kayak semua itu normal. I'm always trying to use that as guidance throughout this whole pandemic. Jadi kayak udah just think of it kayak semua ini normal. Karena kalau kita udah mikir kayak ini normal yang baru segala macam, I think that would kind of ruin it for me, to be honest. But I like to go out there and act like everything is normal. I put my mask on. I do everything the way
Mm.
I did it back in the day. Maybe a little bit more mask, a little bit more hand sanitizer. But I just I have to make sure that I do everything because I like them and it makes me happy. And you know, act normal. That's what I've been doing for the past year and a half.
Yeah, that is so true. Because if you keep on saying new normal, you always think that, nanti pasti kayak dulu lagi kok, pasti kayak dulu. Padahal ya jalanin aja gitu
Yeah,
kan.
and yeah. True, true, true. Okay.
So, man, this was such a great conversation, but we've been talking for 30 minutes. I don't know if you
Yeah,
noticed,
yeah.
man. Seriously.
That was good. Yeah.
So, I just wanted to say thank you so much, Bamaster, for joining us. And
Thanks for
we
having
will
me.
have Yeah, we will have more artists on sharing session to come. Jadi jangan lupa untuk selalu follow YouTube dan semua social media kita, juga Instagram dan Twitter @SEAtodayNews, because we'll always have the latest updates for you. Apart from news, some fun content as well just for you. So stay tuned for the next sharing session. You'll find out on our socials. And this is Kay signing off. Thank you guys so much for tuning in.
Awesome.
Awesome. Gila, gue kangen banget sama lo.
Iya,